Born in a quiet village of Iga, Hattori Hanzo has from an early age demonstrated unusual agility and dexterity. Surrounded by lush nature, the young ninja in training spent hours training in secret, honing his skills in combat and espionage. Hattori Hanzo's training was rigorous and exhaustive. From dawn, he devoted himself to improving his physical and mental skills. Discipline was the basis of everything. Hours of hand-to-hand combat, mastery of various weapons, infiltration techniques, and espionage. The mind was sharpened for strategy and patience, essential qualities for a ninja. Each day was a new test to overcome, shaping the young samurai into a formidable warrior. Night was the perfect cloak for his operations. Sneaking through the shadows, Hanzo infiltrated an enemy village. With the agility of a cat, jumped from roof to roof, his senses sharpened by catching the slightest noise. His eyes, adapted to the darkness, penetrated the houses of tapestry, recording every detail. The mission was clear: to get information about the rival clan's plans. After hours of infiltration, Hanzo returned to his lair. The moonlight, which once illuminated his steps, now served as a silent witness of his notes. With precise fingers, unrolled an ancient scroll and, by the light of a single candle, began to record every detail of the mission. Maps, diagrams, and detailed descriptions took shape under the tip of his bamboo pen, transforming the shadows of night into concrete knowledge. The night stretched like a cloak over the village. From the top of the roof, Hanzo gazed at the full moon, his reflection shimmering in the waters of the lake. The gentle breeze caressed his face, taking with it the aromas of the forest. Loneliness was his constant companion, but the sense of duty fulfilled filled him. At this time, the ninja's mind was freed from the bonds of the mission, allowing him to find peace amid the turmoil of the world. The quietness of the night was broken by a cry. Hanzo, alert, turned to the source of sound. Two enemy samurai, armed with swords, emerged from the shadows, blocking their exit. An ambush. Adrenaline exploded in their veins. This was not a simple infiltration exercise. It was a struggle for survival. The fight was intense. The samurai were skilled, but Hanzo was faster, more agile. He moved like a shadow, delivering accurate blows and deflecting enemy attacks with impressive dexterity. The fight turned into a deadly ballet, a sword dance, under the moonlight. The fight was over. Exhausted but victorious, Hanzo sat on the floor, taking a deep breath. Adrenaline still pulsed in his veins, but a sense of calm invaded him. He had survived. Hanzo stood out early on, not only for his sword skills, but also for his strategic mind. He demonstrated an unusual ability to infiltrate, pass desperate, and attack in a lethal manner. His leadership of the Iga clan was unquestionable, and his decision to become a ninja was a reflection of his dedication to this cause. But what would really make him famous were his leadership skills and his victories during the battles, which he lost in history as examples of courage and tactical intelligence. His rise to the position of leader of his clan was not simple, but his wisdom and courage during the fights were preserved by all. During the political and military disputes of the time, Hanzo was assigned to missions that project cunning and agility. He not only fought alongside his warriors, but also had the mastery of manipulating information and strategies, which made him unbeatable. One of his greatest achievements was his resistance in battle against the forces of the Tokugawa clan, which at that time sought to expand their rule. In 1569, Hanzo was appointed to one of the most critical roles of his life, the protector of Iga. The Iga region was strategic and highly valued for its military and economic value, being constantly attacked. Hanzo used his skills to organize a fierce defense, mobilizing his ninjas in strategies that made them invisible to their enemies. With unpredictable tactics and swift movements, he kept the Iga tribe safe, being a stone in the path of many opponents. The rise of the Tokugawa clan and the war for power in feudal Japan brought new challenges to Hanzo. However, he can also seize opportunities and establish strategic alliances. During the period of the Japanese Civil Wars, when several clans were fighting for supremacy, Hanzo made a rejected move to ally with Tokugawa Ieyasu, an emerging and very ambitious leader. This alliance was not just a political game, but a choice of survival and threats for the Iga clan, which could be destroyed if it did not join the victors. However, the relationship between Hanzo and Ieyasu was not pure trust. Although Ieyasu recognized the value of Hanzõ as a military leader, he still had plans to expand his own territories. What many do not know is that behind the alliance there was constant vigilance on both sides. Hanzõ, in his wisdom, continues to protect his clan while Ieyasu expands his forces. This tension between the two men, with their conflicting loyalties and ambitions, became a crucial element in the continuity of Hanzō's life. Hanzō's ability to gather secret information has become one of Ieyasu's greatest weapons, helping to avoid ambushes and often demobilizing enemy forces without the need for a single direct confrontation. He was also responsible for several secret sabotage missions, weakening the enemy defenses before Ieyasu made his final move. During the famous Battle of Tenmokuzan, when Ieyasu was attacked by the forces of the Takeda clan, Hanzō stood out as a tireless defender of his leader. He helped protect Ieyasu during the escape and made sure that the leader did not fall into a deadly trap. During this battle, Hanzō used his guerrilla and ambush tactics to attack the enemies by surprise and protect Ieyasu's rear. In a desperate situation, when Ieyasu was surrounded, it was Hanzō who planned and executed a strategy, allowing the leader to escape alive and continue his struggle for the unification of Japan. Hanzō played a crucial role in the Battle of Sekigahara in 1600, one of the most decisive moments in Japan's history. In this battle, Ieyasu commanded the army of the Toyotomi, led by Ishida Mitsunari. Hanzō, once again, was a pillar of security and intelligence for Ieyasu. He helped secure victory by infiltrating enemy territory, bringing important information about the Toyotomi's attack plan. Hanzō and his ninja clan managed to outsmart the enemy, causing confusion and misinformation, which ultimately resulted in Mitsunari's defeat. This victory consolidated Ieyasu on the way to becoming the shogun, and Hanzō was one of the great heroes of that conquest, although his name has recently been mentioned in formal records. His work behind the scenes caused rival military personnel to demobilize before confrontation even took place. During the years he served Ieyasu, Hanzō became a silent and lethal shadow whose espionage and sabotage tactics were instrumental in Ieyasu's taking over a land divided into warring factions. Even without appearing directly on the battlefronts, Hanzō was crucial to ensuring that attacks were always aimed precisely and that Ieyasu's movements were always well coordinated. Hanzō's loyalty to Ieyasu has been tested many times, but he always demonstrated an unbreakable dedication. Even when Ieyasu suffered great losses in situations of despair, Hanzō never faltered. His role as a ninja was more than just following orders. He was a true advisor, strategist, and guardian of Ieyasu's vision for Japan. He knew that Ieyasu's struggle was not only for power, but for creating an era of peace and prosperity for Japan, and this made Hanzō give himself completely to this cause without ever questioning his master. Hanzō's dedication to the Tokugawa shogunate culminated in his contribution to the foundation of a stable government in Japan. He not only supported the decisive battles, but also worked behind the scenes to ensure that Ieyasu's power structure was solid. He was instrumental in building the first foundations of the Tokugawa administration, helping to establish a surveillance and control system that would ensure the maintenance of Ieyasu's power. Hanzō became one of the most respected figures in the Tokugawa government, although his identity and often made it be defined in the shadows. Over the years of service, Hanzō not only established himself as one of the greatest ninjas in history, but also as one of Tokugawa Ieyasu's most important allies. He became a symbol of Ieyasu's trust and strength, and his deeds helped ensure that Ieyasu would become the shogun of Japan, founding the Tokugawa dynasty, which would last more than 250 years. Hanzō, therefore, not only changed the destiny of his master, but also shaped the future of Japan, and his legacy remains a vital part of the country's history to this day.